What is up, everybody? I had to come live today after all the injury news that's happened. You knew I had something to say. This won't be a super long stream, but I have some opinions on everything, especially the injuries. Um, I guess I'll get right to it. So the 49ers today, as you know, uh, they placed Raheem Oster on injured reserve. He came out with a statement himself that in part pretty much read that he's decided to go for the season-ending surgery route because of his knee situation and that it's not what he wanted to have happen, and he thinks it really sucks, and that he went through a lot of doctors and he came to that decision. um I just got to say that this year is pretty much starting like last year, and this isn't a good sign. We have played one game and we already have two people on injured reserve of our starting roster out for the season, like not coming back, like not playing again. And yeah, so that was uh, a little bit of a surprise. It was talk that he would be out 8 to 12 weeks, and instead he's going to be out for the whole season. To me, this might effectively end the Raheem Mostert story with the 49ers. They got a lot of younger backs who are cheaper and who are more healthy and who don't have as many miles on them, who are just more of a value for where they are in their career. So this may have very well been the end of it for him. It's funny. He got after the media in the offseason for labeling him injury prone when they saw that he had a sleeve on his knee during training camp. And I find it ironic that that same knee is the knee that he blew out or had some sort of crack or some situation happen to it. It's kind of murky of exactly what happened, but pretty much he's out for the year. So I don't think the media was wrong to question anything with any of these guys, because all of these guys that they say are injury prone are pretty much injury prone. I mean, you can look at Verrett's storied history where he's played pretty much 2 seasons out of 6, and the rest have been pretty much a wash. So it's not hating on somebody to call them injury prone if they have a career full of missed games. So for Raheem to get after the media during training camp to say that they were, wrong to call him that, I don't think they were wrong to call him that at all. Now, what people are wrong to do is to go on somebody's Instagram or Facebook or whatever and instant message somebody death threats. That was not part of it. That's totally uncalled for. You may have your feelings or whatever towards a player or how you feel about him, but taking it to that route where you're threatening somebody's life over football, that's ridiculous. So I might not think that the media was wrong to call him injury prone, but when it comes to people actually threatening him on social media, I don't buy that, or I don't like that, and I think it's wrong of people to do that. Hello, Tanya. How are you? Welcome to the chat. Yeah, I had to get on here and talk about these injuries, man. They're bothering me. Yeah, I mean, is it wrong to call somebody injury prone who's constantly injured, who's constantly rehabbing? I mean, look at when the Niners signed Quan Alexander. I mean, how many healthy seasons has he had since he's been in the league? Seems like he's rehabbing something every offseason that he's coming back for, and it's like this big story, and then he goes out again and again and again. It's the same thing. So to me, it's not wrong to call guys injury prone if they're always injured. And, the saying is your best ability is availability, and that's totally true. In a way, it's not really surprising that either of these guys are hurt again. Like I said, you look at the track record of some of these people, they're always hurt. Verrett, Mostert, D Ford, Nick Bosa to some extent. Trying to think who else. Jimmy Ward, Jaquaski Tart. Just got Debo. Ayuk has injury history. I mean, you have a roster littered with guys who have injury history, and we're surprised when they're always hurt. I mean, that's the way you build your roster. If you want to go the cheap route sometimes and go after bargain guys that have maybe not had a fair shot at it because of injuries, and you decide you're going to give them a shot and pay a cheaper deal, that's the price you pay for how you build your roster. And unfortunately, the Niners didn't learn the lesson from the previous regime. Now, they might not draft projects who've blown both knees out and think that they're going to get a star player out of them. But the fact of the matter is that seems like medicals, at least up until this year's draft, have meant nothing to this team. So to me, all this is that is happening is not a surprise. I think it's really sad, and it's really unfair that we can't watch games like every other fan base and just enjoy ourselves. Instead, we watch games and we wonder, is that guy going to get up? Is that guy going to stay down on the ground? Is he hurt? You know, every time the camera pans away and you see somebody still on the ground, this is constant. I can't watch games anymore and I'm not relaxed. I'm always thinking somebody's hurt. So I don't know, man. I just getting to the point now where I really have zero expectations for this team right now. Whatever happens. Wherever we go this year, how far we get, whatever our record is, it is what it is. It's just hard to be optimistic with this situation continually happen every year. You had Joe Staley and Dante Whitner talk about how this situation never happened when they were here, that they didn't have this injury situation, that they had harder practices and longer off seasons, and they trained all off season, and yet nobody was injured. These guys have a lighter workload, fewer practices, fewer engagements at team facilities, and yet they're always hurt. So it's stressful. It irritates me. And no, Luke, I totally agree with you. You're right. That's what we do. We search in the bargain bin, or we draft guys that, we think that we're going to do some magic work with our sports health staff, our strength and conditioning staff, and we're going to get them so they're not hurt all the time. No, that's not what you're doing. It doesn't work. Some people's genetics just not just meant for football, and it's just how it is. And I talk about my nephew all the time on here and how me and him are somewhat pessimistic. I don't call us pessimistic. I call us realist. Give me something to cheer about and I'll cheer, but keep doing the same stupid thing with how you build your roster and keep acting surprised every time guys are out for the season. And you get what you get. You pay what they say, you get what you pay for, So with that all happening and the 49ers having to place Jason Verrett on injured reserve, the Niners have officially signed Dre Kirkpatrick, former Cincinnati Bengal, former Arizona Cardinal, a journeyman corner, not that great, solid at best. They've added Josh Norman already to this group. For some reason, they decided to bring Dante Johnson officially to the 53-man roster and take him off the practice squad, which I don't even know what to say about that. How this man still has a job in the NFL beats the living hell out of me, but for some reason the Niners think he's good enough to be on the 53. I don't agree. Yeah, I'm glad that the Niners decided to address corner in the way that they did. There is other options out there via free agent via trade that they decided not to go with. And this secondary definitely is going to be the make or break of this team, because if this front seven can stay healthy, they could be one of the best. And I'm talking linebackers, defensive line, all that. But these corners, to me, are going to be the make or break of this team, whether we find a way to patch it all together with, cast-offs from other team or we just completely implode. Someone's going to pay the price if we have another bad season and we have injuries as our excuse. Somebody has to fall on the sword. This cannot go unfixed for another offseason. Yeah, John Lynch likes his risk and reward players. Yeah, that's going to put him out of a job. Oh, Tanya, I'm definitely not giving up hope. It's hard to watch games even with our great players like Fred Warner or, like for instance, Dre Greenlaw got hurt the other day. Now he's not going to be out a long time, but it's just we have so many good players, but it's like every game you watch, you're just sitting on your hands hoping someone gets up every single time. Like if something happened to Fred Warner or if something happened to Nick Bosa again or D Ford, we're screwed. We're screwed. Yeah, we could score a lot of points on offense and just have shootouts every week, but that's not going to get you anywhere in the playoffs. When you go up against elite talent, quarterbacks and receivers, you're going to get exposed. And like I said, let's hope the defensive line compensates for what we're losing and that will be okay. But it's definitely like I've been stressed out. I'm irritated. Yeah, I totally agree. Still mad why the 49ers did not sign a quarterback in free agency and right, exactly. I know that they valued defensive linemen over corners. John Lynch has built this team a lot like how the Tampa team was built back in the day, where they build their team from the defensive line back, and that they valued defensive pressure and pass rush over, say, elite level corners. Problem is with that is if you have a rush that doesn't get home or that's hurt, you're screwed. Verrett was really good. When healthy, I'd say he's a top 10 corner. Now we have a bunch of also-rans back there, so we'll be tested this week with Jalen Hurts and those young receivers, and that's going to be an interesting game for sure. I know you get it. I get irritated with it all. I'm not mad at anybody here. Listen, guys we drafted 2 cornerbacks and a safety, but we're so thin on the O-line. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Brandon Moore looks good, but Aaron Banks definitely is not living up to his expectations for sure. I feel like we should just start drafting from the 4th round on and we'll be fine because for some reason we can't hit worth the crap in the first 3 rounds. It's funny, you got Deommodore Lenoir, who was a 5th rounder, who's out playing a second round. No, 3rd rounder. You have Jalen Moore, who's out playing a guy that was drafted in the 2nd round. I think he was drafted in the 6th. So it's just, I don't know, man. They call it a meritocracy, which means it doesn't matter where you're drafted. If you're good enough to play, you're good enough to play. And your draft place doesn't mean anything. I'm totally fine with a meritocracy. I've seen that a couple different places. I know John Chapman was talking about it the other day, and that's what the Niners have. I honestly, to tell you the truth, and I know you're asking Tanya the question, if we're still contenders, too early to tell for sure. There's a lot of season left, but losing Jason Verrett is almost as comparable to losing Nick Bosa. Okay. It's that level of a loss. Hopefully we can patch together with all these, like I said, all these cast offs, but D'Amico Ryans is definitely going to have his hands full. That's for sure. Um, Also, with the loss of Raheem Mostert going on the injured reserve list today, the 49ers have signed running back Kerryon Johnson, former Lion, to the practice squad. Uh, he was most recently with the Eagles, but they cut him because I think during training camp because of, get this, a knee injury. Yes, a knee injury. So we don't learn our lesson. It's like we're like the kid who puts his hand on a hot stove and burns his fingers and just continues to do it even though it burns. I know that free agency is light at this point in the season because all the good players are signed. But the fact that they went and they signed a guy who was cut by the Eagles because he had a knee injury and we're signing him to replace a guy who just had a knee injury, it's mind-boggling. I really don't know what to say. Yeah, I mean, we have our hits too. We haven't completely missed in the early rounds. I still think Ayuk is a great player. I just think he, with the injury with his hamstring and whatever, maybe he's developed some bad habits, but I still think Ayuk's going to be a great player going forward. I don't see that being a problem whatsoever. Oops, sorry guys. I got a question for you guys regarding the Dre Greenlaw injury that they say he should be able to play. I think it's a groin or something. I'm not exactly sure what he's dealing with. Um, a lot of people who follow the 49ers are talking about how well Azeez Al-Shaair looked in the game yesterday and how he's improved from the last couple of years since he was signed as an undrafted free agent. And I got to tell you, he looked fantastic. Um, the 49ers have really done a good job with this linebacking core. I didn't realize how good he looked. Now, it was one game. I understand that. But Azeez Al-Shaair, if you got to have one game where Dre Greenlaw doesn't play, I could see him going in there and doing the job just fine. I still love Dre Greenlaw. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying he's a better player. Some people think that if Azeez Al-Shaair becomes really good, that Dre Greenlaw could be expendable. I don't necessarily believe in that. But I mean, if they had to make, roster cuts and decisions, that could be something that happens down the road. But the Niners, I think right now, if you rate their linebackers, have one of the best linebacking trios in the NFL, hands down. Of course, Fred Warner, Dre Greenlaw's great, and Azeez Al-Shaair is definitely an up and comer. So definitely something to look out for if the Niners decide to move or hold him out a game just to get him ready for the Green Bay game. Maybe Azeez Al-Shaair gets the start. Yeah, we're definitely thinking if K1 and Mosley get hurt. Mosley's still not even back yet, so it'll definitely going to be as this is definitely going to be an ongoing storyline for the season, guys, for sure. Don't get me wrong. Thank you, Luke, for the $5 super chat. Aaron, are you pissed that the Lions actually took 2 kneecaps? Oh my god, that's so good. I think they needed to be penalized because they said they would take kneecaps. They took 2. Oh lordy, that's a good one. That's good. I apologize, guys. I have what's called astigmatism with my eyes, with small writing. So every so often, I have to hold my hand over my eyes. I got to get my eyes checked by the doctor. But if I look at a screen too long, I develop astigmatism. So if you see me keep grabbing my eyes, that's the reason I'm doing it. To kind of give a quick review to week one, I just want to say that I think Jimmy looked really good. To Luke Luna, I wanted you to be right about Jimmy, and you were right so far. I hope it continues. Best scenario is Jimmy playing and Trey getting worked in. Trey will eventually be the starter of this team. There's no question about it. You don't draft that high for that not to happen, but the best case scenario is what happened on Sunday. I hope Jimmy can stay healthy. The offensive line looked really good, at least to this front that we faced. The Philly front is a very good front, so there's definitely going to be a test for this 49er offensive line and running game. So I'm not saying a passing grade. Jimmy played great week one. He was one of the star players of this game for sure. So I'm all about Jimmy. I'm all about keeping him the starter and having Trey do his thing, backing up. So hopefully that continues to be that way. Yeah. Wait, what are you talking about here? No, I definitely won't crucify him if he struggles. My whole thing with Jimmy is just like I've told you before, Luke. Um, for the amount of money that they pay, he's not that level of a quarterback. He's not horrible. Um, he's a comparable starter. At times he can be really good. It's just, you know, what we thought we were getting in 2017 versus what we've gotten so far is definitely not the same thing. Again, I'm totally for him staying here and playing well, especially if it gives us the best chance to win. So, yeah, I won't jump ship. I mean, if anybody struggles enough, I'm going to say something. I'm not going to sit there and not. I mean, everybody deserves constructive criticism to an extent. But I don't want him to play bad, and I hope he keeps playing good. And I hope you keep being right about it. And I hope a lot of people get their feelings hurt that Jimmy's playing well. So I'm not a Jimmy stan, but I'm pro Niner winning, doing well stan. So if that means Jimmy plays well, then so be it. Just to touch on the offensive line, they played really well on Sunday. And I think uh, the loss of Raheem Mostert does suck, but the way that they blocked for the run and the way that uh, Elijah Mitchell ran behind that line was super encouraging. Alex Mack is a total pro and an upgrade. He's still super strong. He moves that line. He's great with the line calls. I think the Niners, struck gold with him and keeping Trent. So fingers crossed that we can keep both of those guys healthy all year. I think it's super important to this team. Um, I wish Aaron Banks was better and really could have solidified that right guard position. But unfortunately, things are the way they are right now. And whoever's in there is doing a great job. And if that is the way that it's going to be this year, then so be it. Um, as far as Trey Sermon goes, it looks like he's going to be now activated, of course, because of the injury to Mostert. Like I said, and then Carry On will be put on the practice squad pretty much just to hold a place until Jeff Wilson Jr. gets back. I don't see him staying on this team unless uh, Jeff Wilson has a setback or anything. So, yeah, that's we're still pretty good at running back for now if no more injuries happen. Wide receiver, I'm still super encouraged. Debo played amazing. I was super impressed with Debo. I hope he can stay healthy. He's another guy that we can't afford to lose. but he played out of his gourd on Sunday. So hopefully we get more of the same this coming Sunday. Hopefully Ayuk feels better and he can get more involved. Hopefully Juwan Jennings can get more involved. Trent Sherfield. I mean, we have some players, guys. We're not bereft of talent. From what we were in 2017 till now, it's a night and day transformation. You can't have all pros at every position. I understand that, but Trent Sherfield was a huge find. Juwan Jennings, a late round pick, doing good. I hope he keeps doing good. Like I said, Ayuk, Debo, we got talent there. We got talent at tight end. So this team, if we stay healthy, will be just fine. If we have to outscore everybody every week, then so be it. Yeah, I agree. 49ers ultimate report. The question with Jimmy is, can he withstand the whole season? And can he stay healthy? I mean, I'm definitely supporting him 100%. Alex Max is a stud and super important. Good thing he's durable. Let's hope that stays that way, Luke, for sure. Yeah, I seen that. Yeah, I seen that. I seen that they were looking into him. I don't know if the Niners are going to be willing to give up any draft capital, Clown Man. They don't really have any, but we'll see. Um, the whole Richard Sherman thing is still out there. They could possibly still bring him in late in the year. I love Richard Sherman, but I mean, what can he do for this team at this point in his career? He's still better than Dante Johnson for sure, but uh, we'll see, guys. Yeah, we definitely have some studs. Their team is pretty loaded in talent. It's just a matter of injuries, man. The injuries are what gets me so stressed. The injuries are what gets me to not relax when I watch games. The injuries are what makes me negative and pessimistic. It's nothing else. I said it in a video today that I posted. It's not uh, our, our competition. It's not anything else. The thing that gives me pause is the injuries. That's it. It's the whole thing. Because we're talented enough to compete in this league. We're talented enough to compete with Tampa. Do we beat Tampa? Maybe not. But are we good enough to compete? I think so. All right, buddy. Take care. Thanks for dropping in. Yeah, I'm not going to be on too long because I promised I would step in and watch touchdowns and tight ends. If you guys know who they are, I interviewed them back like a month ago. Two young ladies, a Charger and a 49er fan, who decided to start making content on Instagram and eventually started making their own channel. They had their first show last Tuesday, and they're going to do one again this Tuesday. So I don't want to take away their shine or be on at the same time. So I just wanted to come in and talk about these quick topics about the roster and the injuries and stuff, but by no means steal their thunder. I'm all about ladies and supporting ladies who do their thing and know football. There's plenty of room for all of us, man. I wanted to make a quick comment about something that came up yesterday. For all of you guys who don't know, the 49ers lost a former player by the name of Paris Harrelson. He was a outside linebacker slash defensive end that played with us. I'm trying to think around the 2006, 2007, 2008 era, before the Niners, constructed that team that Harbaugh eventually took over. He was only 37 years old. Didn't say what he died from, but it's tragic. Dante Whitner was a former teammate of his. So it was definitely sad to see the loss of Paris Harrelson. This is the second death in the 49er family as far as former players. We lost Greg Clark not too recently. So it's sad. I'm 41 years old, and this guy was even younger than me and passed away. Probably leaving behind a family. A lot of his former 49er teammates are, really sad to see what happens. So rest in peace, Harrelson. I hope your family can find some sort of solace and some, much needed, just people need to pray over them and make sure that they're okay if you believe in that sort of thing. So again, rest in peace, Paris Harrelson. And it's a sad situation to hear about for sure. Yeah, again, I wanted to again touch really quickly for all of you that didn't know Raheem posted his uh, when Raheem posted his post about him deciding to get surgery this year. A lot of idiots decided to go and put death threats on his Instagram, and his wife, came to his defense to say that you guys were, you know, that social media and Instagram is really a sick place that people think they could go on and just harass people. And I totally agree with her. Whether you agree or disagree about players and their injuries and their commitment to the game, it's one thing to criticize people for that, but it's a different thing to criticize people and take it to the level where you're threatening to do bodily harm to them or their family. There's just no place for that. I'm not here to preach, but that's just common sense. You know what I mean? Only an idiot would think that that's okay to do. Uh, I've been mad at plenty of players that I didn't like. I've tweeted things like, you suck or you're no good or this or that, but I've never took it to the personal level. Now I'm not as much of a troll on social media anymore because I have a YouTube channel and I'm trying to, mature a little bit, but I've never gotten to that point where I did something like that because that's just ridiculous. You know, the fact that his wife had to come on and say that when they have young kids and, in a family is just that's just sad. You're gonna threaten to kill somebody because they got injured because maybe their body's just not meant for football and it has nothing he can help. That's just how his body works. So I hope any of those people, if there's anything that could be done to track people like that down and make them pay the price for that, let's hope that happens. But we live in a sad world, man. People need to get a life, get a job, get a clue. Um, it's just a game, man. In the end, it's just a game. Uh, there's more important things in life than football. And if you're going to go and threaten people to kill them because their body can't hold up, then you're a sad individual. So, yeah, looking forward to the Eagles game this Sunday. Is it a 1 o'clock start? It's Eastern zone time zone. I'm Eastern zone, so I think it's probably a 1 o'clock start. I would assume. I'll have to take a look at it, but I'll probably do a live reaction after the game if I'm feeling all right. I do plan on having Butcher Boy on here from 95.7 The Game at some point. I've been interacting with him on Twitter, and he's been saying he's really busy doing a lot of video editing and stuff. It's late September in baseball. The Giants just clinched a playoff spot, and the 49ers season is early in development. So whenever I can get Butcher Boy on here, it'll be freaking awesome. I love getting members of the media, people that do radio, people whose voices are known throughout the Bay Area. I love to learn stuff. I love to pick the brain of people that know more than me and who are in the, the media, the radio podcasting game. I think it's great to rub elbows with people like that. So I think you guys will have a real treat when Butcher Boy comes on here. He's got a lot of energy. Um, I watched a video with him and his co-host when they both saw Trey Lance's first day at training camp, and they were like giddy like little girls. And I thought it was really awesome. So I like people that have that kind of raw emotion, people who are charismatic. So I definitely can't wait to have Butcher Boy on here if it's possible. But yeah, um, 10 in the Bay. Okay, so it'll be 1 o'clock. Great, better for me. Yeah, the Giants love Butcher Boy. Yeah, I can't wait to have him on. I feel bad talking to people or instant messaging people on social media. I've done it enough. Uh, some people don't respond, and I kind of feel bad. And then some people do respond. Larry Krueger, I've had him on a couple times. I'd love to have Grant Cohn on one of these days. I don't always like having the same guests that my YouTuber friends have. I feel like I want to be different. So I don't want to just rehash the same people that other people have had on. So that's why I figured Butcher Boy would be an interesting guest. Something new, something fresh, someone with a personality. I play the straight man. He's definitely more energetic than that. So that'll be cool. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, Tanya. I appreciate it. I hope I can get him on here. He's really busy. I've been corresponding with him about a week, and he told me to message him Monday. I messaged him Monday, didn't respond. So today I said, this Wednesday? And he responded with, can we do it next week? I'm really busy. So I'm going to leave him alone until next week. I'm not going to message him anymore. I don't want to come off like a stalking ex-boyfriend or something. So yeah, guys, just like I said, I wanted to come on here and talk about the injuries, get your guys' point of view on things. The sky hasn't fallen yet. The season is still early. We still have a lot of talent. So hopefully things will go in the up and up, and then I can stop complaining and worrying about everything. But just wanted to come on here and talk to you guys. I'm going to go jump in a little bit to Touchdowns and Tight Ends live stream and give them some support. I hope you guys can do the same. They definitely can use the support. They're young in their YouTube journey, and we want to support the ladies too in this content creating, podcasting, YouTube game that we all have a piece of, and we all there's plenty of room for all of us. So they would appreciate your support. I'm not saying you have to go there, but if you can, stop in, say hi, and it'll be really awesome. Hey, CG, what's up, man? I'm about to head out. Gonna go jump into Touchdowns and Tight Ends stream in about 15 minutes. I'm going to get myself something to drink, and then I'm going to go into their stream. So I just wanted to say sayonara for now, guys. I'll probably jump on to talk the Eagles game, possibly Friday. I'll let you guys know. Thank you very much for the super sticker, buddy. You are so kind and so generous. Thank you very much. You just finished your NFC West roundtable. That's awesome, dude. Yeah, I was a little busy earlier, so I saw that you were on, but I was ready to stop what I was doing before and then get ready to come on. So I did not check that out. Thanks again for everybody coming on here. Thank you, Tanya, for the compliment. I appreciate it. Wish me luck, guys. I got to go to the doctor and get them to look at my eyes. I do have astigmatism, so looking at the screen gives me gives me some issues. So, all right, guys. Everybody have a good one. Stay safe and healthy. And as usual, you guys know, as I always say, see you on the flip side. Bye, guys.